Want to be sure you are getting the most out of your retirement? For all the years of your retirement? That's the primary goal of More Living with Jim Brogan and our Dollars and Cents segment, where we provide you with an important financial tip that will help positively impact the quality of your life in retirement. And now, here's Jim with this week's Dollars and Cents tip.
So let's talk about inflation. The new inflation number came out this week, and it had clicked up just a little bit. It went from 2.5% to 2.6%, and so there's been some press about that. Is inflation creeping back in? You know, there's certainly been a lot of speculation as to what tariffs under President Trump will do to inflation. So, you know, where are we? Where are we likely to go? What are we likely to see with interest rates? I think that the Fed, they have indicated that they still see inflation trending down to their 2% target. And it was expected that it would click up just a hair when we got the December data in. Consumer spending was very up in December. Savings rates actually have dropped. They're down around 3.5% to 4% in America. So in other words, people are spending more, saving less. Certainly not a great sign. But the inflation data, it was not alarming to the Federal Reserve. I think that it is unlikely we're going to see rate cuts for a while. Maybe not until the last half of the year. I think eventually we'll probably see some rate cuts this year. As far as inflation overall, though, I think Americans are very uneasy, and I think a lot of the reason for that is because, you know, we say 2.5%, but that's 2.5% on top of, you know, just a couple of years ago it was 9%. Prices have not come back down. Groceries are still expensive. And so I think it becomes critically important when we see things like the inflationary trends we've had the last few years, and then we see data that people are increasing their spending and decreasing their savings rates. It is definitely a warning sign. And so I think one of the biggest things you can do is track your spending and know how much you're spending. And it does not have to be an overwhelming thing to track your spending. I know sometimes I think that gets in the way of some people tracking their spending because you feel like you have to budget every single item and, you know, find out where every little penny is going. And that is a great thing to do, but you can get a pretty good idea from your spending by just looking at your bank account. You know, if you don't, your gross salary is really pretty meaningless in terms of your spending rate. Look at how much money is actually being deposited in your bank account from your paycheck. What does that add up to over the course of a year? And then what's happening with your bank balances through the course of a year? Are they growing? Are they shrinking? Are they staying about the same? You can pretty quickly get a rough idea for how much you're actually spending. And then you can start to create a plan around that. One of the main reasons I see that people are nervous about retiring as they get closer is because they don't understand how much they're spending. And they haven't really ever sat down and created an income to support income in retirement. So sit down, look at just big picture what you're spending, create a rough budget around that, and you can start to get your arms around what your needs are in retirement. How much is Social Security going to meet out of that need? Do you have other income sources? Do you have rental income from real estate? Do you have a pension? And then what is the gap between your income you're going to be receiving and what your spending needs are? And then that's what you're going to have to do, create income with your life savings. You're going to have to take your life savings and turn them into paychecks because you'll no longer have the earned paychecks.
That's our Dollars and Cents segment for this week. You can find this week's Dollars and Cents segment and others by visiting BroganFinancial.com.